Welcome back, everyone. 14 minutes past the hour now. We've been telling you that this press conference there in Troutdale, Oregon is expected to start here at any moment now. It looks like it is underway. We're hoping to get the latest on this school shooting that occurred much earlier this morning. So let's listen in.
Superintendent of the Reynolds School District will talk, and then Mayor Doug Daust, Troutdale City Mayor, will be up after that.
Unfortunately, we had a very tragic incident this morning at Reynolds High School. One student is deceased as a result of a lone gunman who entered the school. The lone gunman was also deceased at the scene. We are in the process of notifying the next of kin for both. We have tentatively identified the shooter, but we're not confident enough at this point to reveal the details. I can tell you that the weapon that was used is a rifle. In addition, one teacher was injured with non-life-threatening injuries. The teacher was treated at the scene. Not related to this incident, and during the evacuation process, a gun was found on one person. This is not believed to be a part of the incident. That person was taken into custody. The investigation will take some time, as you can imagine, and we have several tactical teams working through this investigation at this time. For reunification for the families, we have located a spot at Wood Village Fred Meyer for parents to respond to pick up their kids. I want to thank all the law enforcement agencies that came to assist us, as well as the non-governmental agencies such as the Trauma Intervention Program. There will be several days of healing and ongoing attention given to the students and the staff and anybody impacted by this tragedy. I also want to thank Superintendent Florence. We have 2 school resource officers at Reynolds High School. They were the first responders, and they responded immediately. They and another tactical team brought this to conclusion, and I can't thank them enough. Now I'd like to introduce the Superintendent, Linda Florence.
This is such a tragedy. My heart goes out to the individuals involved and to their parents. I too want to especially thanks to our first responders. Those are our school resource officers. And for our students and staff who did some real quick thinking and went into lockdown within seconds of hearing about the active shooter. I also want to thank our students and staff and teachers who did an excellent job, a calm job of evacuating the school today, and for implementing all of our safety procedures that we have at the school. Parents are meeting their students at our Fred Meyer Wood Village parking lot and being checked out with our school staff. Students who need mental health, someone to talk to. We have lots of counselors available. And for students who are already at home and need some additional help, I have a phone number for them to call. Multnomah County Mental Health at 503-988-4888. Later today, we'll be also notifying our parents and students of school closure. There are some things that we will have to do, some work that has to be involved. And so later on today, we will be notifying them of that. So thank you.
Hello, I'm Doug Daust, the mayor of Troutdale. This has been a very unsettling day for our precious city. I've been on the cell phone all morning long with the national news media As you can imagine, they've shown quite a bit of interest in what's going on in this small city suburb of Portland. I've been on the phone constantly with media back east. I really want to say, though, that, and I shared with them, that I'm very impressed with how the police handled this whole operation. I think going through a dry run a few months ago helped, and the school police officers helped a lot. But I am very impressed with the cooperation amongst all the police departments that showed up, and there were a lot of them. I was watching on the news to see how many police departments showed up along with the sheriff's department. So my heart goes out to all the families, and that's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll have another media briefing tentatively set for 4 p.m. this afternoon, same location. We'll let you know once we confirm that. I do have a few things. Reunifying students with parents, again, is occurring at the Wood Village Fred Meyer parking lot. The parents, if you're looking for more information about your students or have not been able to contact your student, you can contact the Reynolds School District. Their main number is 503-661-7200. But that is where we are taking the students to reunify with parents, and we'll be at the location until we make sure everybody has connected. The Troutdale Police Department has set up a tip line for witnesses or anyone that has seen, that saw part of the incident or knows information about the incident. That number is 503-250-7943. Witnesses can call that line. It is staffed, so there will be somebody there. The Multnomah County
All right, you've been
crisis
listening there to the latest that we know at this hour from that school shooting there in Troutdale, Oregon. We are hearing from officials they are not IDing the shooter who is dead or the student who was killed in that, but we do know that one teacher as well was injured, but that is not a life-threatening injury, so that is some good news there. The weapon of choice today was a rifle. On the phone with me right now is a Reynolds High School student, Jamie Infante. Jamie, you were inside that school when the shooting occurred. Tell me what happened. What did you hear and what did you do?
When it first happened, I didn't really know what to expect. Mr. Dixon, I believe, was the one who announced it, saying this is a lockdown, go in the rooms, turn off the lights and lock the doors. And then at the end, he said, this is not a drill. And from then on, I just fled to the room nearest to us where my original teacher, Mr. Larson, told us to go into Mr. Moffitt's room. And from then on, we sat in there for about 40 minutes in the dark, and we found out that it was actually in the gym building, not in the main building. So we were able to turn on one light and to have some communication with what was going on outside. And about 15 minutes or so later, Mr. Moffitt comes in and he says, all right, I need you guys to stay calm, but there has been a few gunshots, and there was a teacher that has been shot. And then later on, somebody on their phone found out from Twitter or something that Mr. Rissler was the one that got shot. And at first I thought, he was legitimately shot, but then later on we found out that he was just grazed by the bullet. Then about 10 minutes or so later, police officers and SWAT team and FBI came banging on the door saying, police, police. Everybody stand up with your hands behind your head. And then we went out. And before then, I heard some people wanting to come inside, just some students who just arrived there pretty late.
So let me ask you about, just take me back to when it all started. I mean, do you remember hearing the gunshots, and if so, how many?
I don't remember hearing gunshots. I heard something that turned out to be a gunshot. I didn't even realize it was a gunshot. I thought somebody just dropped something, on the outside, and I didn't think anything of it. And later on, I found out it was a gunshot, and it just sounded like somebody dropped a book to me.
We've all seen these scenes play out so many times. I'm sure you have as well. How did you find the strength and your fellow students, to remain calm inside this classroom? Did you barricade yourselves, or did you just remain calm?
To be quite honest, the people that took it seriously were scared. but the majority of the people that I was with in the room did not take it seriously. There were people who just laughed about the whole thing and kind of didn't really want to believe it, but also wanted to seem pretty calm about it. But if anything, they weren't taking it as seriously as they should.
And Jamie, tell me, because in that press conference we were just listening to here on CNN, they said that there had been a dry run of sorts. Is this a lockdown dry run, or what type of drill were all the students put through?
Oh, it was just a lockdown where everybody goes into a room as far away from the windows and as far away from the door as possible, turn off the lights, and everybody has to be quiet. That's what we went through.
And how quickly were you able to call your family and let everybody know you were okay?
When we were still sitting in silence for about the first 20 minutes, I saw some people going on their phones, like texting, and I just decided maybe that's okay. And so I started texting, and I started letting my mom know what was happening, where I was. And it was kind of like short, brief text messages because I wasn't sure what was going to happen. And if anything, I was trying to hide the light from my phone just in case,
Right.
but it didn't seem like anybody around me really did all that much precaution. So at least I was able to let her know what was happening.
Well, I'm sure she appreciated that, as did so many other parents who were so worried about their children and their students. Jamie Infante, thank you so much, and glad you're safe. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And we will, of course, have much more on this tragedy in Troutdale, Oregon ahead. Up next, more on a married couple's rampage in Las Vegas, including disturbing new videos from the killers.